AITA for not taking my wife back after her best friend destroyed our marriage? I'm 35 years old. I live in Austin, and I just finalized my divorce from my wife, Clara. We were together for 6 years, married for 2. Looking back, I feel like I should have seen this disaster coming. Honestly, the warning signs were there from the start, but I kept ignoring them because, while I loved her, or at least I thought I did, the cracks in our relationship had a name. Chloe, Clara's best friend, ever meet someone and immediately know their trouble. That was Chloe, loud, self-absorbed, and always needing to be the center of attention. From the first time I met her, I felt like she was sizing me up, like looking for something to use against me. But Clara didn't see it that way. To her, Chloe was her college roommate. She was someone who had been there through thick and thin. I thought, okay, I'll tolerate her because she's important to Clara, but man, did Chloe know how to push buttons? Everything started going downhill during the wedding planning. I proposed to Clara after 3 years of dating. We were already living together and it just felt like the next step. She was ecstatic, and honestly so was I at first. Then Chloe started sticking her nose in. At first it was small things. She didn't like our color scheme, saying it was too basic. I let it go. Who cares what colors we chose? Then she complained about the catering, saying we needed vegan options because probably half the guests would prefer it. There were maybe 2 vegans total. Finally, she demanded to walk down the aisle at a special moment before the bridesmaids. Yes, you read that right. Chloe wanted her own aisle walk. Her justification? She'd been there for every breakup Clara had, every tough moment in her life. This day is about celebrating the people who've been with her, not just the marriage. I thought it was a joke at first. Like, who seriously asked for that? But Clara just nodded along. I watched her cave in real time. I tried to intervene. I told Clara, look, this is our wedding, not a stage for Chloe to perform. Your sister's already your maid of honor, and that's enough. Clara got defensive, saying I was making a big deal out of nothing. Meanwhile, Chloe acted like I'd insulted her entire existence. Wow, she said. I didn't realize your fiancé was so controlling. That stung. But instead of defending me, Clara gave in. It's just a small thing, she told me later. If it makes her happy, what's the harm? So Chloe got her grand entrance. She walked down that aisle like it was her wedding. I could feel my parents' awkward stares from the front row, but I just gritted my teeth and smiled. I thought once we were married, this nonsense would stop. Chloe won't have as much sway in our lives. Big mistake. Huge. After the wedding, Chloe didn't disappear as I'd hoped. She became even more a part of our lives. Clara and I would talk about weekend plans, and Chloe's name would pop up. Oh, I already told Chloe she could come with us, Clara would say. Oh, Chloe thinks we should go to this restaurant instead of that one. It was like we couldn't make a single decision without her input. I tried talking to Clara about it gently at first. I said, I like that you have a close friend, but I feel like Chloe is way too involved in our lives. Can we set some boundaries? Clara got defensive again. She's my best friend, she said. I can't just shut her out. You don't understand everything she's done for me. Maybe I didn't. I wasn't there for the college years, the breakups, all of that. But what I did understand was that Chloe didn't respect me or our marriage, and Clara was so wrapped up in their friendship she couldn't see it. I wanted to believe Chloe wasn't intentionally sabotaging me. Maybe she was just one of those people who don't know when to step back. But deep down, I think I knew Chloe didn't like me, plain and simple. And the more involved she got, the more obvious it became. I don't know why I didn't put my foot down sooner. Maybe I thought it wasn't worth the fight, or maybe I didn't want to risk pushing Clara away, but that was my mistake. By staying quiet, I allowed Chloe to feel entitled to meddle in our marriage. And by the time I realized how deep her claws were in, it was too late. About a year into our marriage, Clara and I had finally settled into a routine. Work, date nights, binge-watching shows. Weekends weren't perfect, but it was good. Peaceful even, until Chloe showed up on our doorstep, crying like her world had ended. It was a Friday evening. Clara and I were planning to make tacos and watch a movie. I was halfway through chopping onions when the doorbell rang. Clara went to answer it, and within seconds I heard Chloe's sobs. I peeked my head out from the kitchen. There she was, clinging to Clara like a castaway. She had a duffel bag slung over her shoulder, mascara streaking down her face. "He left me," Chloe wailed. "I can't handle this alone." Clara ushered her inside, giving me a look that said, "We'll talk later." I just stood there, knife in hand, feeling like I'd stumbled into a nightmare. Chloe collapsed onto the couch, rambling about how her boyfriend of 2 years, Mark, had dumped her out of the blue. Clara sat beside her, holding her hand, nodding sympathetically. I stayed in the kitchen trying to focus on the tacos, but as Chloe dramatized her story, I couldn't help but listen. Apparently, Mark had broken up with her via text, saying they weren't compatible. Chloe, of course, insisted she'd been the perfect girlfriend. "Do you have somewhere to stay tonight?" Clara asked gently. Chloe sniffled. Her eyes darted towards me in the kitchen before she answered. "No, I can't go to my parents. They'll just say I told you so, and all my other friends are busy." I could see where this was going, and I didn't like it. Sure enough, Claire turned to me. "Would it be okay if Chloe stays with us for a few days? Just until she gets back on her feet a little." What was I supposed to say? No? Your best friend can't stay? So I nodded, forcing a smile. Sure, of course. At first I tried to be patient. Chloe was heartbroken. I got it. Breakups suck. The first few days I stayed out of the way, letting Clara handle it. But by the end of the week, it was clear this was turning into a permanent stay. Chloe wasn't just staying with us, she was taking over. The guest room, which Clara and I had kept neat, became a disaster zone. Clothes were everywhere, on the floor, over the bed, draped on the chair. Empty coffee cups and takeout containers piled up on the nightstand. It looked like a teenager's room after a breakup, except Chloe was 34. She practically lived in the living room, binge-watching loud reality TV shows and commandeering the couch. Twice I came home from work to find her sprawled out in her pajamas. She'd be eating chips from a family-sized bag while watching some dating show. She didn't even look up when I walked in, just mumbled between crunches. The kitchen wasn't safe either. Chloe wasn't exactly a good cook, but that didn't stop her from making messes. She used our pots and pans like she was auditioning for a cooking show. The problem was, she never cleaned up afterward. I'd wake up in the morning to find the sink full of dirty dishes and half-eaten meals left out on the counter. I tried talking to Clara about it one night. I said, "I know Chloe's going through a lot, but she's treating this place like a hotel. It's not fair to us." Clara looked torn. "I know it's frustrating, but she doesn't have anywhere else to go. She just needs a little more time." "A little more time?" I repeated. "It's been 2 weeks. How much longer are we supposed to put up with this?" Clara hesitated. "I'll talk to her." But when she did, it did no good. Chloe turned it around and played the victim immediately. "I'm sorry if my presence is such a burden," she said dramatically, tears welling up. "I'll leave if that's what you want." Clara, of course, rushed to reassure her. "No, that's not it. We just want to make sure you're okay." It was maddening to watch. Chloe knew exactly how to manipulate Clara, and Clara fell for it every single time. The final straw came about a month in. One Saturday morning, I went out to the backyard to grab some tools for a DIY project I'd been working on. To my surprise, I found my drill, saw, and several other tools scattered across the patio. Chloe was sitting on the grass with a pile of random lumber, painting them neon colors. "What is this?" I asked, gesturing at the mess. She looked up unconcerned. "It's for my therapy. My counselor suggested I do something creative to process my emotions." I blinked, confused. "Did you go through my tools without asking?" She shrugged. I didn't think you'd mind. I'd had enough. I went back inside and found Clara. She needs to leave, I said firmly. This isn't a request anymore. Clara looked at me, surprised by my tone. What happened? She's treating this house like her personal playground. I'm done, Clara. I've been patient, but this isn't working. She has to go. Clara sighed, rubbing her temples. Okay, I'll talk to her again. This time, I didn't leave it up to Clara. I sat down with both of them and laid it out clearly. Chloe, we've tried to support you through this, but it's been a month. This isn't sustainable for us anymore. You need to start looking for another place to stay. Chloe did not take it well. She accused me of being insensitive, of not understanding what she was going through. You're kicking me out when I'm at my lowest, she glared. Wow, some friend you are. I didn't let her guilt me. I'm not kicking you out today, but you need to find somewhere else. Clara looked torn, but for once she didn't side with Chloe. Over the course of the next week, Chloe moved out in a huff. As she drove away, I felt a weight lift off my shoulders. For the first time in weeks, the house felt like ours again. But even then, I knew it wouldn't be the last we heard from Chloe. The real damage started on an ordinary Saturday afternoon. Laura had gone out for her usual brunch with Chloe. Not that I was thrilled about it, but I'd stopped commenting on their meets months ago. What was the point? Chloe was going to be part of Clara's life regardless of what I said. I stayed home planning to run some errands. Grocery store, laundry, a bit of yard work. By the time Clara got back, I was in the kitchen putting away groceries. I greeted her like usual, but something felt incredibly off. She barely said a word to me. To the rest of the day, Claire was distant, really distant. She avoided eye contact, gave one-word answers, and spent most of her time glued to her phone. I asked her a couple of times if something was wrong, but she just brushed it off with, "I'm fine." That night, things got strange. She went to bed early. When I came to bed later, she was curled up on the far edge of the mattress, pretending to be asleep. I lay there staring at the ceiling, wondering what on earth was going on. The next morning, I pushed it. "Zara, seriously, what's going on? You've been acting weird since you got back from brunch." She hesitated for a moment, then said, "I need to ask you something, and I need you to be honest. Were you with someone else yesterday?" I blinked, completely blindsided. "What? No. What are you talking about?" Her voice grew sharper. "Chloe said she saw you in a parking lot. She said you were in your car making out with some woman." For a second, I almost laughed. It was absurd. But when I saw how serious Clara was, disbelief turned to frustration. "Clara, that's ridiculous. I was grocery shopping. She described my car and my jacket. She even named the strip mall. I was there, but I was buying milk and bread." Clara crossed her arms suspiciously. "Then why would Chloe say she saw you?" That question was what got me. It wasn't, did she make a mistake? It was just, why would she lie? As if the idea of Chloe lying was absolutely impossible. "I don't know, Clara," I said, raising my voice. "Why don't you ask her?" "Because I didn't do anything wrong." But she wasn't listening. "I don't know what to believe," she muttered. "Chloe wouldn't lie about something like this." That hit me like a punch to the gut. After everything we'd been through, she couldn't trust me over Chloe. I stood up, pacing the room. "You've known me for 6 years. Do you really think I'd cheat on you? In a parking lot, no less." Clara didn't answer, just stared at her hands. "I need some time to think," she whispered. The next few days were hell. Clara moved into the guest room, saying she needed space. Every time I tried to talk, she shut me down. Meanwhile, I walked around in a fog of anger and disbelief. I couldn't ignore the bigger issue, Clara's reaction. The fact that she wouldn't even give me the benefit of the doubt spoke volumes. A week later, Clara packed a bag and left. She didn't tell me where she was going, just said she needed to clear her head. The next morning, I got a text. "I think it's best if we separate. My lawyer will send you the papers. That was it. No discussion, just a text and a lawyer. Our entire marriage thrown away over one ridiculous story. I was too exhausted to fight. The weeks that followed were even worse. News of our separation spread, and Chloe made sure everyone heard her version. Mutual friends started avoiding me. Even my own family started asking uncomfortable questions. It felt like a nightmare. And through it all, Clara remained silent. No calls, no texts. As the days turned into weeks, my anger started to fade into something colder. If Clara didn't trust me enough to even have a conversation, then maybe I didn't need her in my life. 2 months after Clara left, I got a text from an unknown number. "Hi, this is Jessica. I know Chloe lied about you. Can we talk?" Jessica was a mutual friend. I texted back asking what she meant. She said Chloe admitted she made it up. The next day I met Jessica at a small coffee shop in Austin. She looked nervous and handed me her phone. "I can't stay quiet anymore. You need to know what really happened." The messages between her and Chloe were absolutely shocking. Chloe had texted, "Clara finally left him." She actually believed me. Jessica asked why she did it. Chloe replied, "Because he's a controlling jerk and she's too naive to see it." I had to help her out. I kept scrolling, my hands trembling with rage. Chloe mocked Clara for being gullible. I couldn't read anymore. Chloe hadn't just lied. She'd actively sabotaged my marriage out of sheer jealousy and spite. I took screenshots of everything, thanked Jessica, and drove home furious. I was furious at Chloe, furious at Clara for falling for it, and furious at myself for letting Chloe get away with her behavior for so long, but I also felt validated. I finally had proof that none of this was my fault. I forwarded the screenshots to my lawyer. Then I texted Clara, "I have proof that Chloe lied. Can we meet? You need to see this." She agreed to meet tomorrow afternoon at a park near her new apartment. I didn't want her back, but I needed her to know the truth to clear my name. When Clara finally arrived, she looked hesitant, almost nervous. I didn't waste any time. I pulled out my phone, opened the screenshots, and handed it to her. "Read this," I said. As she scrolled, her face began to change. She went completely pale. She handed the phone back to me, trembling. She lied," she whispered. "Yeah," I said steadily. She made up the story about me cheating just to break us up, and apparently she thought it was hilarious. Clara sank onto the bench, staring at the ground. "I didn't think she would ever lie to you," I finished for her. "That's the problem, Claire. You didn't even stop to question it. You just believed her and threw me under the bus. Do you know how humiliating this has been?" Tears started welling up in her eyes. I thought I was doing the right thing. I trusted her. I replied bluntly, "Yeah, well, that trust cost you your marriage." Clara looked up, tears streaming down her face, begging for forgiveness. "We can go to counseling, work things out," she pleaded. I sighed. "I don't think we can fix this. This isn't just about what Chloe did. It's about how easily you believed her, how little you trusted me. That's not something you can just work through." Clara kept crying, begging for one more chance. For a moment, I almost felt bad for her. But then I remembered all the nights I spent alone, all the friends who dropped me. "I think it's best if we both move on," I said, standing up. Clara didn't try to stop me. She just sat there crying into her hands. I didn't look back. For the first time in months, I felt like I was finally in control of my own life again. Later that night, Clara sent me a long text apologizing and begging. I didn't reply. There was nothing left to say. The marriage was broken beyond repair. Instead, I forwarded the screenshots to a few of the mutual friends who had cut me off. I let the messages speak for themselves. Within hours, my phone blew up with apologies. "I'm so sorry I ever doubted you," one friend wrote. I ignored most of them. As for Chloe, I didn't even bother confronting her. What would be the point? A few days later, Riley called me. "You're not going to believe this, but Chloe's basically been blacklisted from our friend group." Once the story spread, everyone distanced themselves. Chloe tried to defend herself, but no one bought it. I checked her social media. She was posting long rants about fake friends abandoning her. The comments were brutal. "You ruined a marriage, and this is what happens when you manipulate people." Meanwhile, Clara's life wasn't looking much better. She moved back in with her parents. Her mom was furious when she learned the truth, telling Clara she threw away a good man for a liar. Clara's attempts to reconnect with old friends were largely rejected. A few weeks later, Jessica texted me that Chloe got fired. Her reputation had caught up with her at work, and nobody wanted to deal with her drama. I didn't feel sorry for her at all. She was finally facing the repercussions of her own actions. Months later, I heard Clara actually reached out to Chloe to apologize and try to move past everything. Chloe just laughed in her face, called her pathetic, and said she was better off without her. They truly deserved each other. The toxic dynamic between those two was a ticking time bomb, and I was the collateral damage. But in the end, they destroyed each other, and I got to walk away with a clean slate. Karma doesn't always hit right away, but when it does, it hits hard. I'm moving forward,